Daniel Boone, you're sure of it?
Daniel Boone, no mistake.
I've seen him. Yes, it might work.
It is as I said, for you, for what you want. It is only way.
Correction, Pushta. It is the only way for what we both want.
You pay Charlie Crow now?
Remember? No one must know we were here.
I cannot remember what I forgot.
Now nothing can loosen his tongue.
There are only three silent things. Falling snow, the hour before dawn, the voice of one just dead.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. From the coonskin cap on the top of Old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. What a boon, what a doer, what a dream come a truer, what a boon, what a doer, what a dream come a truer was he.
I counted the shakes from... What are you doing up here?
Watching? How am I going to learn to build a cabin unless I watch?
How are you going to live long enough to build a cabin if you keep climbing around on ladders?
I climb trees.
Dana? Dad? Israel Boone, you get down from there this minute. Oh!
Hey! Not that way and not that fast. You got a hole?
Young man, you could have broken your neck.
No, I've been hiding that lots of times.
You what?
You wanted me?
Not me, him. I don't imagine he's come this far to see me.
A redcoat? What's he want with us?
I reckon we could ask him.
I've had the good fortune to be speaking to Daniel and Mrs. Boone.
You have?
Major Peter Wellington, sir, of His Majesty's own rifle.
You're a long way from home.
If you mean England, yes, a very long way. If you mean Salem, I don't have to remind you of the lumps in the Cumberland Gap you pioneered.
Stand clear, Mom. I'll take care of him.
Israel.
It's all right. I got him dead center.
Israel, put down that rifle.
Redcoat, ain't he? Shoot him on sight. That's what Yadkin says we ought to do.
Shoot him. Why waste good powder when all you have to do is set their coattails afire and watch them howl their way back across the Atlantic? However, since this is my only coat and since good powder is at a premium, perhaps you'll accept my sword as evidence of my goodwill.
You mean you surrender?
Complete capitulation.
Red coat or not, Israel, you can't shoot a prisoner.
Just the same, I think I'll take that sword. Just don't make no sudden moves.
Are all you Kentucky settlers that independent?
Well, not all of us. Some aren't big enough to aim a rifle yet. The tea's hot, Major, and you're more than welcome.
Might be you'd like something a little stronger.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need it.
Make yourself at home.
Thank you. The most snug and comfortable home you have here, Mrs. Boone.
Why, thank you, Major. Of course, any home is that if it's yours.
Walls are bulletproof, too.
Israel.
Try a little of this, Major.
Your health. What is that?
Pistol. One of our Kentucky specialties. One drink and you can walk about as far as a pistol can shoot.
My team might not be as strong, Major, but it's a sight safer.
What brings you to Kentucky?
You, Mr. Boone, I need your help.
Well, the least I can do is listen.
Some 6 months ago, a 4-man mission was sent south. If the French move south again, the Crown must have the nations under its flag.
The French gave up on this part of the world 10 years ago, Major.
Very well, Mr. Boone, the truth. In the case of difficulties with the colonies, the Crown must have allies, Indian allies. As a first step towards accomplishing this goal.
Your mission was sent down to buy Wyandotte loyalty with rifles.
With rifles.
Now I know we should have shot him.
First to Wyandotte, then the other tribes. Once armed, they'll start their own war against themselves and against every settler in Kentucky.
Perhaps, perhaps not. We'll never know. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending upon your point of view, the mission failed. Captain Bliss and Lieutenant Henderson were killed while attempting a river crossing. Sergeant Moore and Dundee were taken captive by the Wyandotte. My mission, Mr. Boone, is to rescue those 2 men with your help.
My help. Military mission sent into Kentucky to start a war against the settlers. And you want my help.
Mr. Boone, you were a soldier. You know a soldier must obey orders, go where he's sent. Moore and Dundee had no knowledge of the purpose of their mission. They still don't. I don't have to remind you how the Wyandotte treat white captives.
Major Wellington, the Crown is responsible for what happened to those men, not Daniel. And if you really want to rescue them, why not arm a company and just take them?
Mrs. Boone, if we did try to rescue Moore and Dundee by force, they'd be the first 2 to die. There was only one way to reach them, through Daniel Boone. Adopted son of a Shawnee chief, blood brother of the Cherokee, kith and kin of the thunder and lightning and the heavens themselves. Or so the stories go.
Might be the Wyandottes don't believe in fairy tales.
They'll believe what I have here, Mr. Boone. Gold. More than enough to ransom Moore and Dundee. Oh, one other thing, I need hardly point out to you that this mission of mercy will afford you the opportunity to widen the gap between the Wyandotte and the Crown, to make sure that the British plan to use the tribes against the settlers will never be realized.
Isn't that talk kind of close to treason for a man who's wearing the King's red uniform?
If it's treason to point out an obvious truth in order to save those 2 men, then I am a dedicated, unregenerate traitor.
Dan, those men. Well, we just can't turn our backs on them.
I guess you'll need this.
Well, it seems like this has been decided for us, Major.
Except for one thing. How far could a man walk on 2 drinks of this?
What are you doing now?
Waiting for you. What did you do with him?
you're talking about Major Wellington, he's at the tavern. Cincinnatus put him up for the night.
You mean you're still gonna go with him?
Still gonna go with him. First thing in the morning.
Don't do it, Pa. Don't go.
Why not?
'Cause he's a redcoat. And you know what Yadkin says? Can't trust him any further than you can throw.
Israel. I'm not saying that Yadkin is wrong. But 4 men's lives are at stake. And sometimes you have to go by trust and not by sight.
But you said it, Pa. Never trust in the tameness of a wolf, a horse's health, or an enemy's smile.
Well, that's true, Israel. But Major Wellington's coat don't make him our enemy. Only the man wearing it can do that. You understand?
I guess so.
Well, young man, it was time you're in bed. Good night, son.
Good night, Pa. Pa, I still don't trust him.
Directions we can go. Well, I picked that one.
We can cross downstream below the Beaver Dam.
Beaver Dam?
Mr. Boone, in England we have naturalists who come home like old elephants to die. Only they don't die. They write thick books on the flora and fauna in the New World and sell them to officers assigned to the colonies. Any other questions?
One. Why did they pick a man newly arrived from England for this expedition?
Well, the general is old, and his wife is young and very pretty. Which seems I remind her of her brother. Well, there was this innocent and brotherly kiss in the garden, and...
And here you are.
Exactly. And I rather think the general hopes I get my head blown off. Which way, Mr. Boone?
I never argue with the men who read the books, Major. Downstream.
They don't look dangerous.
This distance, neither does a rattlesnake. We'll know soon enough. Something keeps chewing at me. Something I ought to remember.
Be very careful. This pistol has a sensitive trigger.
Tell me, was there ever a 4-man mission?
There was. If there were no prisoners to be rescued, the men were all killed by the Wyandotte.
Crown sends 1 man to do what 4 couldn't.
British tradition, Mr. Boone. An indomitable spirit, a refusal to accept failure. Put down your rifle, please.
I just remembered. I saw the general's wife once. In Salem. Not young and pretty. At least 50 years old, and a face that'd scare a brass cannon.
Correct again.
I've got everything straight, except why did you go to all the trouble to get me to come along?
Curiosity, Mr. Boone, is a disease. Allow me to cure it for you. Permanent. Major Peter Wellington, may you rest in peace. Harry, I can't be more neat about this, Mr. Boone, but I can't risk the sound of a gunshot. Strange. I always thought a lead Jim was invincible.
How many times do I have to tell you hunting is 1 part shooting, 9 part quiet?
But those birds act like they're looking for something.
Those are not just birds, Israel. Those are vultures.
I hope you've had better luck than I did. Maybe you can tell the mighty hunter here what quiet means.
I've been up on the ridge. I found Charlie Crow there.
That's where those vultures are.
Where the wicked cease their troubling and the weary be at rest.
Charlie Crow? Now, who'd want to hurt that old man?
2 men. One wearing moccasins headed north. The other wearing boots headed toward Daniel's cabin.
I guess we'd better head toward the cabin.
No use. Pa's gone. Them bare boots, they belong to Redcoat. He took Pop to Wyandotte country.
Wyandotte country?
They went to ransom some prisoners.
Israel.
I know. Time to go home.
That's got a bad sound.
Let's go.
Don't see nothing to worry about. Walking like one Redcoat, standing on his head.
Come.
Come in peace.
If you did not, you would be a fool to walk into my village alone.
Even a fool would know better.
Who are you?
Daniel Boone.
We have heard much about Daniel Boone.
I've heard much of you, Telecom, chief of the Wyandotte. A leader as cunning as the panther, a warrior as fierce as the great eagle.
And an old man who feeds on his own praise.
Wisdom has its own ears, Telecom. It hears only the truth.
Then I will listen, Daniel Boone. And I will be wise.
Boone? Slumbering peacefully at the bottom of a cliff.
Beyond Cook. You come in peace, and you come alone. What words do you bring?
Dark words. War clouds gather, and soon the skies will be filled with the smoke of burning villages.
We have had wars before. We will have them again.
Not like this one, Telecom. This time, there can be only death between the white settlers and the redcoats.
It is their death, not ours.
Death knows no peace. Not for you, not for them. The tribe that does not fight on one side or the other will be destroyed.
Then we will fight with Daniel Boone and his people and drive the redcoats into the sea.
That is one reason I am here. To tell you that I stand with the redcoats.
This is strange talk. We have always heard Daniel Boone is no friend of the British.
And you have heard lies, Telecom. A warrior does not desert his chief, nor does Daniel Boone desert his grandfather across the great sea.
It is as I told you. The redcoats will send more soldiers to this war than you have ever seen.
And they have guns on wheels. Cannon with voices that speak like thunder against the walls of the strongest forts.
These cannons, do the white settlers have them?
No.
Then the British will win. Nothing can stand before them.
The Wyandotte did once, they can do it again. If we have to. What happens to the tribes that fight with the white settlers?
They will be destroyed. Their land will be given to those who have helped the British.
We will be wise to stand with those that have the cannon.
If the cannon can win so easily, why do the British need the Wyandotte?
To make certain we can win easily. And to make certain that when the war is done, the British have friends in Kentucky and not enemies.
How do you change an enemy into a friend?
By giving him your hand with a rifle in it. One rifle for each Wyandotte who fights with the British. And enough powder and shot to last him through 2 wars.
And with rifles, the Wyandotte can rule all the tribes, Telecom. And this for fighting a war that we cannot lose?
By fighting a war that is not ours, we have already lost. My lodge is yours, Daniel Boone. Leon Gahash.
Will he agree?
As a bone to a dog, an old woman to tough meat, so is Telecom to decision. He will chew on it, worry over it, and let it find rest in his stomach. And he will ask for more powder and more shot for the rifles. You will agree. And the Wyandotte and the British are as one. Brothers, as we are.
For a price.
I have honored my word. Come to the Wyandotte as Daniel Boone, I told you. And come with the promise of rifles. And I pushed our first shaman of the Lodge of Telecom will deliver the Wyandotte to your cause. I have honored my word.
What is this?
Dog.
No doubt a Daniel Boone specialty. Yes, you have honored your word. The British honor theirs. Your 30 pieces of silver, my friend, be gold as promised. When the treaty is signed, the rifles will be waiting for you at Fort Detroit on one condition. That I am there to hand them over to you. And I can't do that if I'm dead, can I?
You will live. Your life will be my life. Your steps, my steps. Hear me, Wellington. This gold, it means little. It will buy only position and more wealth. But the rifles, they will buy what I must have. They will buy Talcum's grave and me this lodge. And the name of the greatest of the Wyandot war leaders. Your rifles, Englishman, will put this land here in my hand. When they speak, I have but to close my fingers.
Dog. It's interesting. I must inquire as to its preparation. What is that?
How's your basket weaving?
You said he was dead.
So I did. You see, a legend does take quite a bit of killing.
Hot day, ain't it?
Who is this man?
His name is Wellington. He was with me till he lost his way in the dark and fell off a cliff. Thought he was dead.
Didn't miss by much, Major. Pretty good job for a redcoat.
I am Talcum, chief of the Wyandot. Who are you?
Daniel Boone.
Who is he?
Major Peter Wellington. Seems like we got our outfits some mixed up.
I told you he fell over a cliff. He's hurt his head. His mind is sick.
He says Daniel Boone will fight on the side of the British.
It's like saying the Wyandots and the Cherokees have become brothers.
Sentear! You counsel a treaty with the Redcoats? Now you would kill one?
It is best he dies. He is sick in mind.
One of them is sick, or one of them lies. Which one? This we will know. Yawi Santa!
Goes with storytelling, Major. A lie's like a black cat. Has a way of coming back to haunt you.
Well, the difference between a cat and a lie is that a cat has only 9 lives. Which reminds me, how many lives have you got? That 4 would have killed the average rhinoceros.
I got a little of the catfish in me.
Catfish. My second piece of bad luck. The first was trying to grapple with your Kentucky on someone else's terms. What happens now?
Trial by jury. Wyandotte style. They tie the accused to a stake and build a fire under him. Only the guilty burn. The flames won't touch the innocent. From what I've heard, they haven't found an innocent man yet.
Well, being an officer and a gentleman, naturally, I insist you go first.
There's another test. Boiled in armadillo oil. Same story. No survivors.
No survivors. And I had to do this over again, Boone.
If you had to do it over, you'd be wearing a buckskin jacket with a hole in the back. And I'd still be lying at the bottom of that cliff.
Just so we understand each other. Next time, I'm not taking any chances.
This don't make any sense. Me, I can understand. This is my world. Indian outside are part of it. And if I don't stop you, a lot of folks I brought through the Cumberland Gap is going to get killed. Maybe my own family. That's my stake. It's yours.
A British officer who should know better. Risking his tender, carefully nourished hide to get a treaty signed that may not be worth its weight in lies. It does seem to be quite a paradox, doesn't it? However, it's really quite sensible. That treaty, worthless or otherwise, is my transportation back to St. James's Square, Buckingham Palace, perhaps even a brigadier's epaulets and the title I so richly deserve. For that, Mr. Boone, and to leave this savage, ill-mannered country of yours forever behind me, I would quite cheerfully slit my own dearly departed grandmother's lily-white throat.
Well, like you say, Major, so we understand each other.
Nothing left to chance this time, Major. May you rest in peace.
Two men tell they are Daniel Boone. One of them lies. More words will not change the lie. Only the fire will. Daniel Boone is the greatest of white warriors. He will laugh at the fire, and the fire will not touch him. But the one who lies, he will not laugh. And the fire will claim him. Trial by fire. The only truth.
There can be no trial in this telecom. There can be no truth in combat with a man sick in his mind. Put 10 warriors with him. Then there will be truth.
For an Englishman, Major, you make a pretty good Indian. Too bad we'll never... Not here.
If Daniel Boone is a great warrior, he would not be afraid to kill. The one in buckskin, he is Daniel Boone.
It is true.
Conscience makes cowards of us all, my friend. I gambled on yours and won. My lucky day.
Real luck, Major, is not holding the best hand of cards. It's knowing when to get up and go home. Might be you stayed a hair too long. Talicum, this one says a great warrior is not afraid to kill. This is true. But is it not also true a great warrior doesn't have to kill? You searched for truth in your fire and in your knife, but you did not find it because it was not there. Mingo?
Yeah.
Here is your truth. Yad? And there.
I see only a Cherokee dog. And a long knife with hair on his face, scratching at the graves of their fears.
Look again, Talicum. Here is the truth. You say you've heard much of Daniel Boone. If this is true, then you know Daniel Boone is the greatest shot in Kentucky.
The trial is done. I say he dies and his friends with him.
No. Show me your truth. Show me the best shot in the land.
You handy with a rifle, Major?
My first love, Major.
That gourd do for a starter?
Child's play.
And children first. Akalea.
That is the truth. No, not yet.
As I said, my lucky day.
Look, Ashlapi.
No. That'll do just fine.
Okala.
I knew it. I knew he'd make it worse.
Mingo. Figure this piece shoots a little wide. Reckon the wind will take up the slack.
A shot only one man can make. Daniel Boone.
Friend of the Wyandotte and the settlers.
If the British make war, they will have to fight alone. If the Wyandotte must fight, they will choose their own allies and their own enemies. Yawicenta.
Now, hold on. I know he ain't worth much, but kind of grows on you. What's his life worth to you?
What will you pay?
Yad? Your life.
You would kill me and yourselves for him?
Only one way to learn the answer. Say no.
You can take him, Daniel Boone.
Obliged. Oh, Major. Sure you'll want your uniform back. If you don't mind, one more thing. No British officer could have done what Wellington did without help. One of your people wanted British gold bad enough to betray the Wyandotte. Find the goal, we'll find the traitor.
Give it, sit down!
Got me out of the village for this.
There's always Boonesboro. People feel pretty strong back there about you selling out the Wyandotte. Hanging strong.
Don't forget the Cherokee. They'd have quite a celebration, roasting the man who gave rifles for their enemies. Well, this way, at least you've got a choice, which is more than you gave me.
And that's the difference between us, isn't it? If I'd won, I would have watched you die without so much as a blink. But you give me a choice.
Well, maybe not as much choice as you think. You miss those rocks, you still got to face the general. I hear tell the British don't take kindly to failure.
There's always his wife, Mr. Boone, remember? I'm sure we can find some way of softening the blow together. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I always did hate water.
What he's going to look like wearing corporal stripes.
I just don't understand. He's all that to you, and you let him go?
Well, it wasn't all that simple, Israel. He did have a choice.
Never trust in the tameness of a wolf, a horse's health, or an enemy's smile. Once a redcoat, always a redcoat.
Well, I just couldn't leave him with the Wyandottes.
Yadkin would have shot him.
Dan, a writer just brought this from Salem. And it's addressed to Master Israel Boone.
What is it?
Well, there's only one way to find out. Master Israel Boone, I gave you this once under false colors. Because of this and because you returned it, I feel obliged to make amends. This instrument isn't nearly as effective under fire, but I'm sure you'll agree it does catch the eye. It has known several generations of honor. I'm certain in your hands it will continue to do so. By the way, you might tell your father that he was quite right. The general's wife, I'm afraid, does have a face similar to a brass cannon. Perhaps one day I will see you again. If I do, I assure you I will not be wearing a red coat. Your obedient servant, Peter Wellington, Corporal.
It's just like Paul said. You gotta trust in people.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. From the gooseskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roarin'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a boom, what a doer, what a dream come true. What a